Hello, my fellow ground pounders. I'm joined here today by my girlfriend.
Hello.
We're going to be looking at a game called FrostPunk, a game that I've been very excited about, and I'm very happy to show you. Most of the time I see footage of this, I only see the beginning part. So here's an interesting, the ending to the main scenario. So I thought that would be pretty interesting to look at. The music is really nice in this. You said that you liked the music in this.
I do. I do. I think it's really cool.
So I got a comment recently, or a personal message, that said it was from somebody who wanted to subscribe, but then they heard you speak, and they said, "Is there any way that
Shut up.
is there any way I can listen to this and just keep her muted or something like that? Because I really love the channel and what you do,
Mm-hmm.
but 50% of it, I mean, he said he had to see a specialist or something,
Oh, okay.
like an ear specialist."
This would have nothing to do with us arguing before you
No,
started.
no,
No.
this is a personal message that I received last week, and it was just somebody who said it was the most disgusting accent,
Oh, it is not.
and my heart goes out to them. Because, some people talk about how lucky they are with their significant other, and they just go, wow, I really got somebody so special and
You
sweet.
are lucky.
And then I look over to my right and my left and I think, damn, I really screwed up.
Oh my God. You're an ass.
So, I think that's why I like to bury myself in games, because I can't bury my heart and soul.
Oh my God.
I, I, every single night I have to go to bed and you're to my side.
Oh my God. You know, some people are not going to know you're kidding.
I wish I was.
Oh, shit.
And I go to bed and
Even the cat is disgusted with you.
you're at my side, and I think I've really fucked up. I don't feel an accomplishment with you.
Shut up. Oh my God.
It's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad.
So I love these strategy games because, just like I'm trying to figure a way out of my relationship
Oh
with
my
you,
God. Shut up.
I can figure a way to do these strategy games. And I've been on a bit of a
Good for
strategy
you.
kick lately. I've played Slay the Spire a lot. That's that card game.
Are you reminding me of it? That's all I've seen for the past week.
And then I've played FrostPunk, which I think the one that I'm showing you is my fourth playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done full playthroughs because twice I got really. I just, some strategy games are the type of games where you start playing,
Mm-hmm.
you realize how to play, and then I didn't want to finish it because I wanted to do things so much differently and better.
Right.
So then I played again, and I actually beat it my second time. And then my third time, I didn't like the way it was going. That was the time that the death bell kept on tolling
Yes,
every single second.
every second I heard that.
So I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right either. And it was really nice because I started it up again. And this game has a really interesting dynamic, and lots of strategy games do, where there's an emphasis on wood in the beginning, and slowly the resources become irrelevant and more become relevant. It's kind of fascinating because
Right.
it's focus on wood, then you can focus on metal, and then I mean, I don't even really consider coal, which is what keeps your city running, to be that much of a concern in the base game. you should be able to have a huge surplus of coal. Um, and there's these things called automatons, which you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing running around. And those are just the key to success. And I went hard.
I know you did really well when you played it last.
Yeah, I, I did phenomenal. And I really struggled in the mid and early game so
Mm-hmm.
that I could succeed in the late game. And that's kind of how I like to do these sorts of games because if I'm going to fail, I want to fail in the beginning. I don't want to fail in the end. So
Mm.
that's pretty much always my strategy is suffer in the beginning because if it doesn't work out, it's only like 30 or so minutes. Whereas if you lose the game at the end, you've lost quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But something is to be said for these games that you can lose. I am awful at Slay the Spire.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I've only beaten the game twice and I've played how many times?
That's true, but it can be challenging, I
It's
think.
challenging, yeah,
Yeah.
but there's also just, I suck, I think. Like, and it's fascinating because I go to bed at night and I wake up and I think, I should have played this card, you know? And when I was, last week when I was playing FrostPunk, I was going to bed thinking, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a workshop first. It's a stressful time of year, and it's just really nice to completely just lose yourself in something. And that's why I think I'm really digging these strategy games.
Mm. Yeah. No, that's good that you have it.
So I played Tharsis recently, and that was a really, really bad game actually. But it wasn't nearly as disappointing as Death Stranding. But Tharsis was just. There's no reason to play it again once you beat it. And I beat it on my second time.
Oh my God.
Maybe my third, but
Jeez.
I was only playing the game for 2 hours. And with this Frostpunk game, you can make the scenarios harder, you can do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them, just like in Slay the Spire. Sure, you can beat it, but then you've got to beat level 2, 3, 4,
Mm-hmm.
hard mode, all these things. It's fascinating. And I can barely beat the base game twice. So it's really nice to have this challenging game. I even looked on YouTube to see if anybody else has played this game.
Mm-hmm.
There's people with over 500 videos dedicated to Slay the Spire.
Wow. Well, I mean, it has like 20 levels, right?
Yeah, and I can barely beat the base game.
Yeah, so I mean, there's so much room for,
Improve. I almost wonder if this is one of those games where some of these games you don't actually get better, but the longer you play, the more tools they give you. Um, like uh, like lots of roguelites. I don't know if you really do get better or if they give you a tool that just makes the game easier. It's pretty weird. But these unlocks that they give you, like in Has Been Heroes, give you like special potions that you didn't have access to before. Has Been Heroes is another game I'm really in the mood to play,
hmm Oh,
but
you haven't played that in a long time.
yeah, it's been a long time. But the problem is,
That was one of the early games you showed me.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, and then we revisited it.
Oh,
The ones that look like the cartoons and they run all
yeah, but
together.
that wasn't one of the first games I showed
Not
you.
first, but early.
I don't know about that.
I feel like yes, but maybe you're right. You know what? When the cat was looking at you talking, it reminds me of that. Have you seen that meme cat?
Which one, babe?
Oh my God, the one where it'll show uh, the woman, like it'll show someone like upset about something, and then the cat sitting at the dinner table making a funny response. It'll look just like the cat. Come
How
on.
is it being in your own little world? Is
Okay,
it nice in there?
I think you're in your own little world. Are you telling me you have not seen that?
No, I'm just saying it. Here I am talking about all this stuff,
I know, but
and
I
you're
was,
just
I
you're
was,
just in La La Land.
no, I wasn't. I was watching the cat watch you talk, and it looked just like that meme cat. Oh, it's really funny.
I highly doubt it.
No, no, it's wicked funny. My phone died, or I'd show you.
Oh, that's a shame.
But okay, so look at Yuki's face looking at you, and then I'm going to show you later the meme, and you'll see what I'm saying.
Pure love. And then he looks at you and he's like, stop interrupting. These strategy games, but honestly, Has Been Heroes would be so much fun to play.
Mm.
But I need to dedicate about 4 hours to it now to beat one run.
Wow.
And that's just not.
Mm.
I'm never going to sit down and go, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 hours. And the thing is, if you stop playing, you forget the spells you have,
Right.
you lose the momentum. That's why I can't believe they made the game take so long. Like, I just kept beating it, and they just kept getting longer and longer. And that's the opposite of the feeling you should be getting. It's the opposite of what you should design, too.
Right,
If it's
exactly.
meant to be played 100 times, make it take a minute less each time or something.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Anyway, because, I mean, 2 hours is a lot. 1 hour, I would consider the perfect time.
Right.
Because if I lose and I only played for 1 hour, screw it. Who cares?
Right.
But if I lose for 4 hours,
Yeah,
my
that's
enjoyment
well, that's
of
a big
playing the game
that's a
is
big time investment.
hugely
Yeah.
sacrificed.
Look at that face. That's exactly what I'm going to show you after.
So, this game would really make a fantastic book. I've been thinking more and more about it. Something like Lost would be very nice to write a book like that.
Yeah.
I've never played anything and felt the potential so much
Mm.
for like even like a series or something, because just one season of the story between the scouts going to each city, rescuing all these people. There is so much that you could do. Something that I've been in the mood for lately. It's kind of got me thinking. Since I brought up like you can write a story in this.
Mm-hmm.
One challenge that I always think of is, could you write a murder mystery in the world that you're writing in? And it should be just as interesting as your plot. Like if you're in a sci-fi spaceship, you should be able to write something where somebody dies and it's a murder mystery, but it should like your characters should still hold up
Right.
if it's just a regular old mystery. Like you shouldn't be that reliant on setting. It's kind of like my test that I do sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. So it just kind of got me thinking about murder mysteries in general because I was thinking about writing something for this, like how cool it would be. And then I was just thinking like about murder mysteries. Did you ever watch Murder She Wrote?
Um, I guess I may have seen. I don't really know.
My grandma was super into those shows, so every time I'd come over, there'd always be Columbo
Yeah.
or Murder She Wrote or Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
You know, horrific
Oh,
murder mysteries.
I love Betty White.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about that because that'd almost be fun to revisit all those
Mm,
cheesy.
I know.
Supposedly, some of them are really good.
Oh, I bet.
So it would almost be fun to have
Old show review.
yeah. It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be.
There's so much to watch. It's so hard to pick everything, especially if you start going back to stuff. Like the movie we just watched, Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah. My God. Okay, for a movie in 1968, I really couldn't believe it. Not only did they have so little to work with, and yet it was still creepy and effective, but and believable. But I have to say,
It
for
was 100%
1968,
believable, wasn't it?
yeah, and they literally had nothing to work with.
They really made you feel it.
It was really all the interaction between and reactions. So it was they relied really solely on the characters, really, and then just darkness.
That's kind of what I mean about my murder mystery allegory,
Hmm.
is you should be able to write people just in a room with no
Yeah,
funny business, and it should still be good. Because people interacting is the meat of everything.
yeah.
So,
No, especially in this, and I think we've gotten so used to effects and
yeah.
like these
Th-
movies that are just millions and millions of dollars because they have the craziest effects, and this literally was actors. And
there's this awful movie, Thor.
yeah,
I mean, we have so little time, I can't imagine I'd ever have us waste our time on it. But
yeah,
it is an awful, awful movie.
wow.
And people loved it because of the
Hmm.
effects.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever no, I've never seen it.
Just imagine just nonsense.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so for The Night of the Living Dead, to think that it was made in 1968, and I was shocked, even like the nudity.
Well, what I was. Remember, I told you that Stanley Kubrick was doing some pretty crazy stuff around then, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only a few years later that he was doing A Clockwork Orange, and around the same time was 2001: A Space Odyssey. So lots of crazy stuff was being done in the 60s, but we don't think about that when we think of the 60s. We think of the Leave It to Beaver era.
Yeah, I know. I mean, well, the 60s, you think of like, you know, the way people were with, what was that? Come on, what was the big concert that started it all?
Woodstock?
Woodstock, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it definitely was a wild and crazy time, but society that was a certain population, certain age group, but society as a whole was still very reserved, women's rights, all this, we were still working on that. Um, Women really hadn't advanced. It was just interesting that they kind of got away with that because I just didn't think those things were allowed back then.
Yeah, well, I think that, people have been always pushing the envelope for all time, you know.
Yeah,
But
true. I
but
just
yeah,
didn't think it would
Night
be
of the Living
allowed.
Dead was such a good movie.
It really was.
And now you know why I always talk about it, because again, it's got that Reservoir Dogs vibe of just people in a room should be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, the characters were. And they were so intense with each other that, like, I never really even felt like they were acting. It was like I was literally just a spectator, like
It's
in
it's
there,
so funny, but when you brought up believable stuff,
Hmm.
that's exactly what I was thinking of, is how I really didn't consider it anything but real when I was
Yeah,
watching
right, exactly.
it. It was something that was really happening and stuff.
Yeah, it was really good.
Thanks for watching that. The next movie I want to show you is called The Warriors.
Okay.
It's a fantastic, fun movie. It's based on the Odyssey
Hmm.
by Homer,
Okay, I don't know that.
the Iliad, and all that stuff.
No,
All right,
I have a list too.
I know.
Twilight, all four parts.
No, no.
No, I know you wouldn't listen, you wouldn't do that. Um,
The
yeah,
new you wouldn't enjoy it anyway.
I don't know. It's like a guilty pleasure, like a comfort. I like that.
I think your standards are higher, but we can check it out one time.
No, I wouldn't watch that with you because I'd have to listen to you the whole time, so it wouldn't be enjoyable.
True.
Yeah, no, that will not be happening. No, I
I
do.
just have seen one part, and it was so effing creepy.
Well, it might have been out of context
No,
too.
it wasn't out of context. This is why desperate women love that
Oh,
movie.
please. Um, no, I have a list of movies I'd like you to see.
Okay.
Remember Me, The Land of Women, Life is a House. That's my list. It's longer, but that's all I can remember.
Well, we can do it whenever.
8 Mile.
Yeah, yeah. I've wanted to see those, but so that's really it. That's all I wanted to show you for this game.
Hmm.
Apparently we're supposed to beg for subscribers in the beginning before people even know what they're watching, and at the end
Oh,
too.
oh.
So every subscriber that I get will bring me one step closer to having the courage to leave her. So
Oh,
don't
shit.
forget to subscribe so that I can be free and happy one day. My golden future is a click away.
Oh my God.
If I receive 1,000 subscribers in less than a month, I promise I will leave
No,
you.
you won't.
So subscribe now so that I
You're
can finally be
lying.
free.
You're lying to these people.
No, I'm not. I must do what the people want. That's my philosophy, you know that.
What was it? I didn't know
Go with the
that.
crowds.
Oh man.
Thank you for listening and good night.
Good night.